small and marginal farmer occupy a lion's share in the total agricultural community in India. But their financial conditions are not good enough to stand in their own feet, and hence they are solely dependent on the government of the day for their survival. The main reason behind this state of affairs lies in their small holding of agricultural plots with absolutely no room for storage of their produce, forcing them to sell their produce immediately after harvest at any price they get from the market. Against this backdrop, if they find that the government agencies are there to procure their produce, they somehow survive. Otherwise, they are forced to sell their produce at whatever price they fetch from the market, and thereby incurring heavy losses and getting entangled with debts in the hands of the moneylenders. It is a vicious circle of poverty for such small and marginal farmers. With a view to getting out from the vicious cycle of poverty, they need to be united and formed a cooperative marketing society for themselves. Now, on what grounds or issues they need to be united so that they can jointly fight to solve their own problems? The common issues that every small and marginal farmer face in their day-to-day farming are: one, relating to production. Purchases of seeds, manures or fertilizers, pesticides or insecticides, and also services of mechanized tractor if available in the nearby locality. Second, relating to sale, that is the post harvest activities. Storage of produce. One, storage of grains. Second, storage of vegetables. Now, if they club together their individual requirements of seeds, manures, pesticide, etc., and purchase all the item from the wholesale markets, they might get the same at a cheaper rate than when they purchase the same individually. Therefore, they should jointly purchase and distribute among themselves. This will definitely give some savings to them in purchasing inputs for farming. Hence, it is one of the area of advantage for small and marginal farmers if they get united in the banner of a cooperative marketing society. The second and vital advantage will come to small and marginal farmers if they wish to sell their produce in the market in a systematic manner. That is to say, they should sell their produce in the market when they find the prices prevailing in the market is reasonable, in order to avoid distress selling. Of course, it presupposes that the proposed group of small and marginal farmers in the banner of cooperative marketing society should have a storage facility for their grains as well as vegetables. The third and final advantage will come in form of economies of scale. Economies of scale can be achieved here without physical consolidation of small agriculture plots of individual small and marginal farmers. In other words, small and marginal farmers will not lose their identity, yet they will be receiving benefits as if they are members of a big farmer. The proposed marketing society will be able to arrange farm machinery like tractor, paddy sown machine, and harvest combine machine, etc. for the individual farmer at an affordable rates. Though it is beyond the imagination of individual small and marginal farmers to arrange all such facilities for himself. Therefore, it is all but clear to anyone that if they get united under the banner of cooperative marketing society, individual member of small marginal farmers would be definitely benefited. Question naturally comes next as to how this society will be formed and who will help them to do so in the initial years of formation of the society. Definitely, the government of an individual state has to take initiative to help them towards the formation of such society on the principle of self-help basis. Speaking more specifically, the officer in charge of agriculture department stationed at the block may be advised to look into the conditions of the small and marginal farmers within the jurisdiction of the block and send reports to the government so that government may decide where to form such society on a priority basis. Several steps are required to be followed to form this society. 1. How many members will be there in the society? Answer to this question lies on the viability regarding the number of small and marginal farmers. Suppose there are a very few number of small and marginal farmers, say 5 to 7 only. It will not be an appropriate number for the formation of a society. Conversely, there is a huge number of small and marginal farmers in the locality, say 100 to 150. The formation of a society for a large number of farmers would be quite challenging for any governmental agency to handle it. Therefore, it would be prudent to select a small group of farmers in this category, say 15 to 20 or 20 to 25. Once a society is formed and it starts functioning smoothly, society may be allowed to accept new members if they feel that it would help the society to strengthen itself. Finding the society is working smoothly in the locality, other small and marginal farmers in the nearby locality would be interested to form their own society. This will definitely be a good movement for themselves. Second, once it is decided that a cooperative marketing society for the small and marginal farmers will be established, the question of a permanent office site will come immediately to one's mind. Definitely, the issue of construction of permanent office site will need to be resolved urgently. Therefore, one can think of a prefabricated structure like this for office site, that is site office, for the proposed marketing society.